Good morning, everybody. Good morning, universe. We hope all are well with you. Please, this video I'm about to make is to react on what is happening in this country, Ghana, and the Nigerians. These people, they are trying to beat drum of war between us and them. Should I say that what happened before, they are still not happy with it? They say Ghana must go in Nigeria. What happened last? The thing is saying in their mind at this time, till now, to the extent that Ezendibo na Ghana, who has been Ezendibo here even before I came to this country, even last administration knew about him. Even this current new administration knew that the guy has been existing, and the individual wants just to bring abnormal nonsense story between Igbos and Ghanaians, and the thing is making seriously wave to the extent they are saying they give Igbos so day to leave Ghana. Man, if we leave this country, if Nigerians should leave this country now, and if we are going safe, we are not going. If we are going home, we are going to like rich men. We are going home like billionaires. We are going home like millionaires. We not go home with empty-handed. We are going home with something reasonable. But what am I trying to say? These people that are creating these problems, be careful. You can't tell me that somebody all the way from Nigeria came to Ghana, married from your country, has all legit papers and everything, and acquire a land, and they started telling the person that he cannot develop the land, do whatever he want to do with his land that he bought here, and your people sold the land to him. Had it been that the man says, because he says the Ezendibo say that he wants to build Igbo empire, that is the only word that you people understood in that thing and took it as an offense. Why Chinese are here miming you are good, basa basa, destroying your waters, building mosques here everywhere. Just he said he want to build the Igbo empire. That is where everything started escalating, started happening as if the man has committed crime, not minding that you people are the one that sold the land to him. Had it been that the man said he want to be a company or industry in that place, will you come and talk this wrong sense? You are saying that Ghana and Nigeria are one brother. You understand? And you are here causing problems. Those land that this man bought, is it not your people that sold the land to him? When you say you are land to somebody, what's your problem again? That is to say that you don't know what you are doing. The thing that happened in South Africa, if it happened here, you go pay now. This drum of war you guys are trying to beat now. If you not beat this drum of war and the war start, it go happen to us. Nigeria must go. Can somebody buy land here without your local people selling the land to that person?
That is not how
it cannot be possible.
It doesn't make you a king.
I can't come here and take Ghana land without having a local people involved in it. Please watch this video and see what Nigeria is like. So these people know that the Biafra is existing safe. So you people know about the Biafra. Let me tell you something. You see this Biafra of a thing. All the whole world know about the Biafra, but they keep quiet. Look at this man speaking about the Biafra, not even calling Nigeria about the Biafrans. That is to say, he knew about the Biafrans, but they don't talk it on their TV. Until Biafra referendum comes, that is when you will know that the whole world knows about the Biafrans. He don't mention Nigeria, he's talking about the Biafrans. Watch that video and see what the man was saying there. Country Bonanka, the buy in the Wajiro no Mayo no Boda. I made the last video, man. We put Basaran in the Zuchieba. Even he has not only Igbo dear. He has not only Igbo Nando Shiama, Nando Bodo. So, yen they go on the buying. You they would. You they would come a long way. 20,000, 30,000, or Jebara, Romono. And some of them are Bala no one. They will walk a Kobodo. If you Bali hang around, just like about a Lebanon, on one 30,000 cities, Batahaka, a Jabane, Romono. Then we need legit paper in way. Who know what will be? Would they have no one what they ban no one? That you do not get past I would. In fact, he has not got this before his own. Here, men in South Africa, the Banya Baran Moto, is the labor a cast stand, more York business, you do the evangeline. Can you government me? He has already so much before his of our property. The Banjiri and Wyan, I could know. Wiki here, no Boda, no one. Maga protect the other safe. Then did you go to protect yourself now? Oh my God, is where do that one is already so much happy hero. Jirini and Wayo. I am put on no, I am put on easy, I man I know easy. You over nature hero. Ghana beggy, Laven Nager warrior. But I tell you the secure warrior over the model you so in the Jirini and Wayo. What you go to video? Our aim of EBA no one is to come and make money and go home and develop our house, our village, our state. In Maganandi Beleba and Abba Makakesa, we want to know. Konya Bigo Matona come as Randas in the Baila, as National. Over the small girl, oh, we be a small girl. Not give away with Mobana Mula. This year, labor. Not in the by Hala, Mocambo Ibo, this is not money. That's a large jet. This is I love what I know in Maracabuniades. I love what Emma and I go Yago Bundu. When I come here, and I'm a man to see here. So in the buy no but I because Jimmy and Wayo. Jimmy and Wayo. Maka, you myself no crack at the Obelebona. The current government of this country has not said anything yet on this matter. If you're going to the end you will name this video just to reply that man who broke on TV. Nihona come nonsense. Mbokwa no again we see Bumba Mahama got you on no kwa. Man amu apaka wa ba mozubozu. Mahama tu on no kwa. That is the only person got you on no kwa. If not, he end up call nonsense. Man, I big on the buy no boda, but I don't know. You open him where will I live with develop with. Each of you about Rota Berenke, Rota, or I may go about Ambali when you meron. Watch go to Vida if you are not wagging. Go the room.
This is a disturbing development creeping up in Ghana. And every well-meaning Ghanaian will have to sit up and grant me your attention for just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. A man born in Nigeria who settled in Ghana some decades ago and over time became well-respected leader among his tribesmen has now set up a kingdom for himself in our country, ladies and gentlemen. He is an Igbo man bearing the title Eze Chukudi Ihenetu. I hope I'm saying it right. He has the title Eze Indi Igbo Ghana, which translates King of Igbo people in Ghana. His tribesmen in Ghana crowned him this position and the title in 2012. And these are his images, ladies and gentlemen. A very fine gentleman whom we are told is married to a Ghanaian. And as a typical Ghanaian, ladies and gentlemen, I have no problem with that at all. But many people, including myself, will have a problem with anyone or any situation that has the potential to undermine our sovereignty as a republic. What has made our country livable for all people for many years is our hospitality towards one another and to foreigners, ladies and gentlemen. And that cannot be circumvented by any external tribe nor group of people. Ghana has a common chieftaincy practice of installing foreigners as development chiefs for the purpose of providing value to our local communities. This is a typical thing in Ghana. And hence, I thought what this man and his tribesmen were doing was something in line of that. Until, ladies and gentlemen, I read from an internet publication that they, and I mean the Igbo people, or he as a king in Ghana, has acquired acres of lands to build an Igbo town and establish an Igbo kingdom within Ghana. This is where I became disturbed, even though I'm yet to see any substantive evidence for this acquisition. That would be totally unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. Fellow Ghanaians, I want to believe this is a falsified story. But if not, this is not something we should entertain or allow to continue. Ghana is a sovereign country alongside our kings and our chiefs. They are called kings and chiefs for historical reasons. They have fought and protected their lands and been the source of the unity of our people till this modern era. It is not a title given out of charity, ladies and gentlemen. There is a meaning and a story behind every stool or throne in Ghana. There is a story behind every stool, land, and family lineage that authenticates the royalty of our kings and chiefs. These institutions are not to be toyed with nor replicated in any shape or form, ladies and gentlemen. People have fought and died in the protection of their clans and tribes and lands in Ghana. It used to be our system of governance before the colonizers came in, and therefore should be respected whether by foreigners or locals, ladies and gentlemen. What is happening with this self-acclaimed king of Igbos in Ghana, if true, will be a direct infringement on our chieftaincy structure and the sovereignty of our country as a whole. This cannot happen in any other region outside of Accra, and even in Nigeria. Can this even happen in Ashanti region, ladies and gentlemen, or any of the northern regions? In fact, this shouldn't happen in any other country, and shouldn't happen for that matter in Ghana. The Igbo people of Biafra need a king and true leadership in these times of struggle for an Igbo nation. That cannot be done in a strange land. What this man is trying to do in Ghana will undermine his own people's effort for freedom from Nigeria. And I don't think his intention is to create a kingdom here in Ghana and move his people along. If he indeed has the resources and the know-how to lead his people, this is the time to stand up strong for your people in Abia and Anambra and Ebonyi and Enugu and in Imo states in Nigeria. Biafra is at crossroads with the federal government of Nigeria, and we as Ghanaians don't want to meddle in that. To be crowned a king is not simply by an election. It must be tied to the lineage of your family, the land of your tribe or family, the historical achievements or significance of your family name in relation to the community you lead, ladies and gentlemen. You don't just blip on the radar in a community that has its own leadership structure and annex your throne to theirs, ladies and gentlemen. That is not how it's done, and doesn't make you a king nor a leader. And one reason we have to make this topical is because of how politicians relate with them. During the times of the formal government or the president, this man was seen, invited, and associated with the leadership of our country. And before the elections were held last year, he paid a visit to our current president. This is what he has used to gain for himself the popularity and the needed attention, ladies and gentlemen. But that's definitely not what Ghana needs at this time. We are not in need of more kings and chiefs, ladies and gentlemen. We have a diplomatic relationship with Nigeria, and that should be observed. The idea of our immigration officers inviting him and working with him is not going to be a healthy thing for Ghana and Nigeria's relationship in the long run. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to pay attention to all these. Nigeria has a high commissioner in Ghana. He is the representation of Nigerian government in Ghana. He is the one to be consulted or engaged on whatever the issues may be. Ladies and gentlemen, we the people of Ghana must be vigilant with the happenings in our country. We have come a long way with our differences, and that shouldn't be undermined under any circumstance. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome people from every part of Africa and the world to our country because that is who we are as a people. We are inherently peaceful people who just want to go about our business and live in peace with all men. We have what many African countries never had. We are one of the few African countries that has never experienced a civil war since independence, and we've had a stable democracy in the last 33 years. We have successfully seen the transition of political powers in that time frame, ladies and gentlemen, and we cannot be naive of the threats to these achievements. There is absolutely no need nor room for an Igbo king of Ghana or Yoruba king of Ghana or any sort of king on our land. How does it even work, ladies and gentlemen? Does it mean we will have to resort to him when an Igbo person is at loggerheads with our laws or not? That cannot be, because no Nigerian travels to Ghana or to any country on a passport issued by an Igbo state. It is Nigeria we deal with and should remain so until there is a country called Igbo. Nigeria is a friend and a strategic partner of Ghana, and that is how far it should go. A similar thing was happening in the Adan area in the Greater Accra region when a group of Lebanese people bought lands and wanted to build a Lebanese community that will prohibit Ghanaians from accessing it, ladies and gentlemen. They likewise wanted a town and a system for themselves within Ghana. Could that ever happen in Lebanon or in Nigeria for Ghanaians under any circumstance? Ladies and gentlemen, let's be guided and not be naive. What then becomes of our originality should that happen on our soil? It is true that historically the Ga tribe originated from an Igbo community in Nigeria, but those who actually migrated left for a reason and chose to stay and not return. They have since then installed their own kings and chiefs at this point and contributed significantly to our nation's building. The Ga tribe in Ghana live a completely different reality from the Igbos in Nigeria. Don't let the few overlapping cultural similarities confuse you. They've moved on, and we should leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Ghana has its own problems to deal with. Let everyone go and deal with their problems in their individual countries. Our chieftaincy problems are already a headache for us. We don't need more. And this is my message to the Igbo king in Ghana. Oga, we have welcomed you with an open arm and made your stay comfortable in Ghana. We have given you a home away from your home, something that should be respected. Don't start anything that will ruin this situation. I'm told you are a generous man who has helped many of our people in the community you live, and that's totally welcomed, Oga. And I understand you are doing this for the interest of your tribesmen in Ghana. That is totally welcome. But please be reminded and be guided that Ghana is not the designation for your kingdom. That will be in Nigeria. You are at liberty to live within the confines of our laws and borders for as long as you would want. But that should be it, Oga. Our politicians may make promises to you and grant you access to certain high-profile meetings in the country. But we, the people, will see you for the foreigner that you are. As it stands now, there is no indication in any official government publication or credible Ghanaian website or media that suggests that your stool has been gazetted in Ghana. Let's leave it at that, Oga, and let's allow for Ghana to continue to live in the peace that we have. Thank you for watching, and hope this video finds its way to him, and hope to catch you in the next one. If today is your first time here, Make today the day you subscribe to support this cause. God bless Ghana and all that dwell within. It's bye-bye for now.